The soft sound of leaves rustling filled the air as you walked into the garden. Your heart felt warm with love when you saw Jungkook sitting on the grass with your baby boy. His sleeves were rolled up, showing his tattooed arm, which was gently holding your baby on a soft blanket. Jungkook's face was full of love as he looked at his son. He looked so different from the strong, serious man everyone else saw. Right now, he was soft and caring just for his family. "Hey little man, what's that big smile for? Are you teasing your dad?" he said, tickling his son's belly. The baby giggled, waving his tiny arms in the air, and Jungkook laughed with him, completely caught up in how happy his little boy was. Jungkook leaned down and gave him a soft kiss on the forehead. "You're growing so fast. How did you get so strong? One day you'll grow up and protect your mama, won't you?" he said, feeling his son's tiny fingers wrapped around his. "Soon you'll be running around causing trouble," he said, kissing his forehead again. You walked near them while the smile not leaving your face. "Looks like my two handsome boys are having fun." Jungkook looked up at you and his expression softened even more. "Oh, see Bunny who decided to grace us with her presence, our queen. He's been laughing at me for the last 10 minutes. I think he's making fun of me." You laughed a little. The baby reached up with his tiny fingers trying to grab Jungkook's face. Jungkook leaned down pretending the baby was strong enough to pull him closer. Okay, little guy. You are the boss," he said with a smile. You sat down next to them, giggling as you watched. It was hard to believe that Jungkook, who was usually so serious and strong, could be so gentle and soft when he held his baby boy. You really are his favorite. He's always so happy when you hold him. You said, looking at your baby with so much love. Jungkook's smile widened. "He's got me wrapped around his little finger, just like you." You gave him a playful nudge. "I thought I was the only one who could do that." Jungkook chuckled and leaned over before kissing you softly on the temple, still holding the baby close. "You both do, and you're already my boss." This made you giggle. Then the baby started extending his arms, looking at you and his lower lip poking out in pout as if he is about to cry. "Wow, so now you want mama, huh? You're selfish, bunny." You chuckled, reaching for your baby. "Oh, you're just hungry, aren't you? It's okay, little one. Mama's here." You took him gently from Jungkook and settled on the couch, ready to feed your baby. As you held your baby close, he naturally reached for you and started to drink. You felt him relax as he nursed, and his tiny hands tugged gently at your shirt. Jungkook was watching you both with a soft smile. "Look at you two. You're the best little team. He really knows who to turn to when he's hungry." You smiled up at him, feeling a rush of warmth. "He's such a little eater. You'll have to watch out. He's going to grow up fast." Jungkook chuckled softly, sitting beside you. "Yeah, but I'll always be his number one fan, and yours too." You brushed your fingers through your baby's hair. "You're going to be so strong like daddy one day. You know that?" you said, looking down at your son. Jungkook smiled as his cheek turned slightly pink, hearing his wife praising him. "Strong and brave, just like mama," he added, leaning closer to give you both a gentle kiss on the forehead. Just then Jungkook's phone rang, breaking the moment. He glanced at the screen and his expression turned to a serious one as he stood up. "I need to take this. I'll be just over there." He pointed to a quiet corner of the yard where he could speak without disturbing you. Okay, love, I'll be here, you replied, watching him walk away. As soon as he was out of earshot, you focused entirely on your son, who was still nursing, his tiny hands waving in the air and his legs kicking playfully. Look at you, all happy. You're such a little wiggle worm. Can't stay still, just like your dad. You said with a chuckle. The baby gurgled, making delightful baby sound that made your heart flutter. He seemed to sense your joy, and his eyes sparkled as he threw his hands and legs around, kicking in excitement. You really love your milk, don't you? Just like your daddy loves his coffee. You sat giggling as you watched him enjoy his meal. The baby let out a bubbly laugh, looking up at you with bright eyes. You couldn't help but to chuckle at how animated he was, completely lost in his little world. You're going to be so strong when you grow up, you said, giving him a gentle tickle on the belly. From a distance, Jungkook was watching the two of you. His serious conversation faded into the background as he admired both of you. His heart swelled with happiness at the sight of you and your baby, both so full of life and love. As you continued to feed your baby, Jungkook suddenly noticed one of his men walking into the backyard. The man seemed to be headed in your direction, likely to inform Jungkook about something important. Jungkook quickly ended his call. His protective mode kicked in. He hurried towards you and your baby just before the man reached you. With a swift motion, he draped his coat around you, covering you while you were breastfeeding. You looked up at him, a little confused. Jungkook, what are you doing? He smiled. Just making sure you and our little one are warm and safe. You didn't understand, but then his man came there and you understood everything. The man cleared his throat, looking slightly awkward. Sorry to interrupt, he said, looking at Jungkook. He didn't even look at you and the baby, as they are not allowed to do so. Jungkook looked at him and his face was serious now as he stood beside you and his son like a protective, responsible man. Why are you here? The man started telling him the things he was here for, and once he finished his report and walked away, you turned to Jungkook, playfully raising an eyebrow. So you don't even trust your man, huh? Jungkook smirked, crossing his arms. I trust my man, but I don't trust you. Don't you remember how you used to flirt with them when you first came here? You burst into laughter, remembering the early days when you had first arrived at the mansion, completely unaware of the Mafia world you were stepping into. Oh, that was before I knew you were the boss, you said in a teasing tone. I thought I was just being friendly. Friendly, more like dangerously charming. You'd smile at them and I'd be watching, ready to pull them aside for a little chat, he said, pinching your cheek lightly. You giggled, recalling how flattered you had felt by their attention back then. Well, what was I supposed to do? I thought you were just a scary Mafia guy. I didn't know you would turn out to be the love of my life. Jungkook stepped closer to you and softly caressed his son's tiny head, who already fell asleep after getting full. And look where we are now. Our little boy is here because of the dark romance of ours. You smiled, feeling your cheeks getting red. It's wild to think about. From that moment I saw you and you didn't know I was a dark romance reader who found all of this so exciting. Jungkook looked at you, exciting and dangerous. I never thought you were that level delusional and crazy, but I wasn't about to let anyone take you away from me. Not then and not now. You laughed. I love how protective you are, even if it means covering me up like I'm a priceless jewel. Because you are, and I'm never letting you go, he says, softly kissing your forehead. You looked up at him, your heart swelled with affection for this man. Well, just remember I'm here to stay. Flirting with your man is a thing of the past. Jungkook chuckled, wrapping an arm around you both. Good, because you have already captured my heart and I'm not ready to share it with anyone else. Now let's go inside. It's getting cold and my boy will catch a cold. Jungkook smiled, wrapping the coat protectively around both of you. He looks like an angel, doesn't he? You smiled and looked at him. Just like me, right? You said, blinking your eyes, trying to raise him with your charm that always makes him smile. You gave him birth, sweetheart. Of course, you are the mother angel. You giggled, and you are the demon I fell in love. A cute demon. He chuckled and shook his head. You are still a fan of dark romance, and now he's used to all that. Whatever you say, I'm ready to accept. You kissed on his cheek before you both walked inside the mansion, holding your son in your arms.